Hey guys, how are we doing on this fine Thursday evening? Welcome to the safe space. So tonight we're going to be talking about an interesting one. I think it's going to be an interesting one anyway. It's about working hard or hardly working. Thinking about this when I was chatting with my community the other night. What counts as working hard? It's a weird thing. Because there are people, I watched a TikTok video, scrolling through TikTok, and came across randomly, when you just on TikTok, came across this one video, and it was this woman videoing her husband sat on their bed with his headset on, gaming on his Xbox, right? And the caption was why do I allow, in quotation marks, my husband to play on his Xbox? And then the next bit is that I'll tell you why. It's because this man works 40 hours plus a week to provide for his family. He looks after his kid, he puts food on the table. He isn't out getting drunk every night. He doesn't spend that much time away from us. All this stuff, and gaming is his way to relax and socialize. So she gets him a beer, says, "You go." And I doubt it's every night, right? But at the end of the week, if she's going, just go chill out with your Xbox for a few hours and listen, get a beer and just deals with the kids. That's brilliant. And the end of the video was let your partner relax and play games if they need to. So it was an interesting one. It got me thinking. And then I was talking with one of the community the other night, and he was saying he's working 40-hour plus weeks and things like that. And but we got talking about it, and it was 40-hour weeks is a lot. But I absolutely love my job. I love doing my job, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And it's right, there is nothing wrong with it. It's just, I got talking about, I don't know if what I do counts as working hard. Right? And I started thinking that because I am someone who has a routine. Routine makes my life possible. Is one way CSI was described as a serial killer, but it's the quote, that particular quote, kind of stuck with me because that's kind of what I'm like. I like my little routines. So I'll get up at this time in the morning and I'll go, and I've got this and this to do before I then take the little one to school and then go to work, and then get to work. I've got this to do, and then my working time is from this time to that time. I have my lunch at this time to that time, assuming I get a lunch at all. And that is then once I'm done, I come home, and then once I come home, I've got this, and this to do, and then at a certain point, I come here and stream, make videos, play games, etc., etc. And but like, that's a busy schedule. It's not necessarily working hard, and it got me thinking, what counts as working hard? Because I remember saying to my I remember seeing someone, and my ex-boss was there at the time because he just sort of moved roles when we got acquired. And he were listening, so the person I was talking to, so I just keep working and working and working. And I said, I'm like that too. If I don't go home and just keep working. He looked at me, my ex-boss looked at me, and just went, sorry, Dan, but I was your boss for like a decade. That's bollocks. Bang on 5 o'clock, you were out that door. And that's still with me. Like, yeah, because, yeah, I did do that. But then also, there's nothing wrong with that. It was a weird one that I'm still perplexed by, because, like, I do, at some point, you stop getting paid. Okay, well, I'm on the salary, so it's not quite the same. It's not like I'm getting paid by the hour. But your contract is for a set time, working between a set time and stuff like that. So it then becomes a bit strange to work past that unless you agree to it for some other reason. So it's a weird one, because it's like, well, I get to 5 o'clock and I'm like, well, I don't have to be here anymore, so might as well go. I knew from when I first started working, because when I first started working, I remember going to my very first work experience with school. I was like, just give me work. And they were like, what about your lunch? It's like, I don't need lunch, I'll be fine. And I'm like, no, go take your lunch. You're entitled to it, go take a lunch. So I had to force myself to go get a lunch, but I was sat there going, I just want to keep working and get work done and sort everything out and stuff like that. And again, that's some of this still. I mean, this is all stuff that the young people in the audience, all those hundreds of thousands of you, will come to learn as you start getting to work. It's there's a difference between working hard and working yourself to the bone. I suppose you can take breaks during a working day and things like that, and that's something I had to learn. And it's also something that, like, when I get to 5 o'clock, that's my time over. I'm out. Unless I absolutely need to, but I try and get to a point by 5 o'clock where if there's anything that's still outstanding, it can either be done tomorrow or is complete. So anything outstanding can be done tomorrow, and everything else is complete, unless it's out of my control, you know? So, yeah, and try and plan my week and things like that, and make sure, and I'm the type of person who tries not to get stressed. Stress is a bad thing. I'm not saying I don't. I fail on a regular basis at that. But it's one of them things you see, you can't help but get stress, but I'm actively trying to avoid stress wherever possible, which is good advice. You should definitely try and do that, folks. Avoid stress. And then, so yeah, I set my day up so I'm like that, so I've got enough stuff to do and I'm not waiting on anything. I'm trying not to wait on anything. Or if I'm waiting on other people who are not coming back to me or something like that, yada yada yada. And I just do it, and I have stressful days at work and busy days at work. I rarely have days where I'm doing 10, 12 hour shifts. Because I set my day up so I don't have to do that. I do my absolute best to make sure that I'm not doing that. I'm finishing at 5 so I can come home to my family. I'm not saying the people who work 40 plus hours a week, because my contract is for like 8 hours a week or something. It's like 8 hours a day. It's an 8 hour a day contract minus your lunch, so it's like you actually end up doing 7 hours a day, so I think it works out about like 38 hours a week. So yeah, it's, and people working 45, 50 hours a week. That's not something I do. And they consider, like, the person in that TikTok video that I was talking about before, he's working 40 hours plus a week to provide for his family and making sure they have a good life. I work 88 hours a week. Don't necessarily get particularly stressed out at work, get as much done as I can, and then go home at 5, spawn 5. Don't wait. Go off then. Because I want to come home, I want to spend time with my family, especially my daughter now. I've only got a certain amount of time. This is one for the parents in the audience. You only have a certain amount of time where your kids actually want to spend time with you. It's a universal fact of life, and it's one thing that no parenting book will ever tell you. No actual parent will ever tell you this unless you specifically ask them. But they simply, there is a time limit on the amount of time you get just sit on the sofa and cuddle your kid, or play games with your kid, or have a mess about, have a dust about with your kid, or simply sit and watch TV with your child while cuddling them. That's what I do on a regular basis, apparently. That's a bad thing. I personally don't think it is, but anyway. So you only get so much time for that. Because at some point, they're going to start and develop a sense of personal space. And they're going to want to go sit in the room by themselves, listening to their music, or if they've got their own TV, watching what they want to watch on their TV. And something like that. It's not a bad thing. I did that, especially when I was a teenager. It's part of growing up to me. But it does put a lot of time on it, running out of time. So when I finish work at 5 and come home, I then get to spend some time with my daughter. And it's good. And that's why I finish at 5. But then the nature of my main job is that sometimes I have to work at the weekends, or I have to work in an evening, because my job role is site operations engineer. So if something needs to happen on the site, which I know is not really a thing at the moment because most of the sites are shut, so I can't really go anywhere. But like if some networking kit needs to get upgraded and the network team are not available, everything's good to go, it just needs installing, they'll send me or someone from my team. If a team is moving into a new office, I'll go to help make sure everything's up and running and everything's plugged in, and everyone can just come in on Monday morning, sit down, get to work. You know? Stuff like that. And that'll be 10-hour shifts, maybe 8 to 10 hour shifts on a weekend. There was one point where my boss, and I didn't even realize I did this, when my boss told me to take a week off because I'd worked all through the week and 3 weekends and the weekends for 3 weeks on the trot, and I didn't even realize that I'd done that. Admittedly, it's when my daughter was little, which wasn't the greatest thing for me to do. Like, she was still a baby. Wasn't the greatest thing for me to do, but I genuinely did not realize that that's what I'd done. I thought there were a couple of weeks between each one, and I really wasn't. Just didn't realize. Don't know why. This is one of them things. Wait, the times when I'm doing that at the weekend, does that then make up for how I do the rest of my working week? Because then that means, yeah, I'm away at the weekend, so I'm not about to help look after my daughter, and help my wife around the house. Also, I'm working hard to provide a little bit extra for him. And so we can have the money to do things at the weekend and not have to worry about money. It's a weird one. Then there are some people who work 60-hour weeks regularly. That's considered working hard as well, but that's not working hard to me. That's overworking. You shouldn't be working 60-hour weeks. There's people at my work who tell me to do stuff like that, and it's insane to me. Like, our head of IT in the UK once apparently turned around to one of the guys in London and said that if someone comes in at 8 a.m. on the morning and then goes home at 6 p.m. in the evening, he would seriously question their commitment to their role. What? That's a 50-hour week for someone. 50-hour week, and you are telling them that they are not committed enough to their work. No. I believe that you can work hard during the time you are supposed to be at work and then go home, relax and spend time with your family. That's how I do things. Maybe some people think I'm nuts for that. I think I'm crazy for that, but that's how I do it. Thing is, if you work too much, you're in danger of burning out because your life becomes work. My current boss once turned around to me and said, You come to work to be able to live, you don't live to work, which is a very good way to put it. It's how I live. Your life should not be about your job. Unless it's something you genuinely enjoy. You absolutely love doing. Like streamers. Top streamers. So I started streaming admittedly because Ninja got big and I heard about how much he was earning and things like that, and I'm like, I'll cash in that. I might give it a go. I'm gaming every night anyway. Why not? Obviously, I'm never going to make Ninja money. Never, ever. I'm not good enough at gaming to make Ninja money. But he, I got into it for that, but like, I was reading into it, I started reading stories about how to get big, the work-life balance of the big streamers was not good. They were streaming, like Ninja at one point was doing 2 6-hour streams a day. So every single, and that was 7 days a week. So he was doing every single day, he was working for 12 hours a day. Now, it's not like he couldn't have done that and then got a good 8 hours sleep, been refreshed and carry on doing stuff like that. But that's 12 hours a day working is literally half the day. That's a lot. I mean, most people are up for most of the day. So if you sit and think about it, depending on how you sleep, you are awake for 16 hours, go to bed, sleep for 8, and go. I don't do that. I'm up for about 20 hours, and go to bed, have 6 hours. Sorry, not 20 hours, 18 hours. Go to sleep. I've been known to be awake for 20 hours. Even there, or something like that. I've done streams that are 19 hours long. That was grueling. But anyway. But anyway, the point is, like, the top streamers are doing 12-hour shifts every single day. Some time off in between, and then between each one. And they're 7 days a week. And it's a lot, but they do it because they absolutely love what they do. To them, it's not about the money or anything. They love sit and play video games, chat with their friends, chat with their community, chat with their chat, and interact with people. That's what they do. So it's, in that instance, because they love it so much, it then becomes sort of not work to them. Especially if they start playing video games all day. 12 hours a day playing video games, I'd be a god at Fortnite too. You know? It's... yeah. It's one of them, if you're going to do it like that and you absolutely love it, then yeah, put as much effort into it as you can. But then, and if it doesn't feel like work, it's easy to lose track of time and just have it not be work for you. which is what the top streamers do. That's fine. I can't do that as a content creator. I can't. I have 2.5 hours to do this. Maybe 3 if I push myself straight until midnight. But by the time I'm getting to midnight, I'm starting to get tired, so I do it till 11. Which is really dumb because I then will go downstairs and I'll be up all 1:15. So I might as well just stream until 12:30 and then go straight to bed. But then I'm then sacrificing being able to get an hour of my TV in because I can't watch it at any other point. I don't know. It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. And yeah, I want to get to the point where this is my job. And I can do 2 or 6 hour streams a day and get my daughter involved and things like that and provide for my family in this spectacular way. But it's not going to happen. I'm at least 10 years too old. Definitely a good 6 or 7 years into this. Too late into this streaming malarkey to be able to do it. There's too many people on Switch now. Not on Twitch, sorry, not Switch. Competition's too high. You have to be. Sometimes I feel like you have to do really stupid stuff on Twitch to get noticed. You have to just scream, absolutely scream at things, at the game that you're playing. Be able to do it. And yeah, that's not something I can do. Behind that wall that you see behind me with the bookcases on, behind that wall is a 5-year-old sleeping. I can't scream about it. Don't well out. So, and I bet if I could do this full time, I could become a full-time streamer. I'd want to do it well. I would easily lose track of time and just keep going and going and going. And it would be fun, it would be great, and I'd be able to do it. Because I'm in a weird spot with work at the moment. It's not that I don't love my job. I really, really enjoy my job. It's a really good job. And it's a job at the minute which not everyone can say that they've got. But it's, like I say, I want to do this. I've always had this feeling that I've been destined for something else. I tried to get into the game industry multiple times and it just fell out every time. And I got to the point where I just didn't have time to sit down and learn how to code and how to create in a game engine. And then by the time I thought, right, I've got enough free time to be able to sit down and do that, I then had a family. So, yeah, maybe if I wasn't doing this for 3 hours every night, I would have time to sit and learn how to code in Unreal Engine. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So, if anybody from my work is working, I love my job. I do. I really, really enjoy it, especially when I get to go to sites back in the day. I love going to meet new people and seeing new places and stuff, and it was great to do. I absolutely loved it. Still do. I've got some amazing people, I really do. Just always had that thing, that ambition to do something different. It's like I always wanted to say I've got a cool job. I could write a book. Maybe if it took off, I could earn enough to quit my job and become a full-time author, which would be awesome. What do you do for a living, Dan? I'm an author. How cool is that? That's a real cool thing to say. It's not going to happen. But there's nothing wrong with trying. And I worked hard on my book, I did. But then there's that's the thing. You can get to a point where it's constantly this thing in the back of your head that's saying, "But are you putting the effort in that you could do? Are you really?" And it happened with the book, and it happens with this every time, every video that I make, every stream that I do. That happens, and it happens because I could be doing more. I could be improving my content, like especially on YouTube. They'll get like the first episode of the Safe Space. This very podcast is my. It's a podcast, and it's not really a podcast. This very thing that I'm doing right now is my most viewed video on my YouTube channel with 17 views. 17 views is nothing. I'm not even into double digits on subscribers yet. So if you haven't already, go subscribe to the YouTube. And yeah, I've always got this thing in the back of my head that's going, you could be putting more effort in. And I have it at work, and I have it at things, and my boss has said to me before that I could be. It's little things that you need to that shoot yourself in the foot. And then instead of going, I need to improve on that, especially when it comes to it, instead of going, I need to improve on that, I go, I don't know what he's doing about it, I'm doing my best. Character fault is that one, and I am trying to work on it. But a lot of character faults that I need to try and work on people. I really do. And yeah, it's always this nagging thing. Well, you could have done more. You could have done this. You could have done that. I like to think I put passion into what I do. And I'm passionate about my work. I genuinely believe that IT and IT support is there to service the rest of the business and its users. Now, I don't like to refer to users as customers. People go, you need to think about our customers, otherwise you won't give them the level of service. I'm like, no, I will give a user and a customer the exact same level of service because they are basically the same thing, except I don't work in a shop. I work for the same company that the people who's asking for my IT help work for. So, like, don't need to do that. Maybe I'm wrong in that, but I don't subscribe to that, but I'm passionate about putting the needs of the user first. If someone who I know doesn't know as much about IT as I do needs my help, they will get my help. So that's how I do it. People have turned around to me and said, you go running whenever a pretty girl says that she needs your help. Like, it's got nothing to do with the pretty girl. It's the fact that she asked for my help. When the little lads asked for my help as much as a pretty girl, he would get my help. But lads never will. They think they know. Most of the time they don't, but they think they know. So that's how it goes. So yeah, that's my impression. That's the thing. I will give help to anyone needs it, gives my IT support to anyone who needs it with the best of my ability. I'm not saying that's perfect every time, but I do my best. And I put passion into my streaming. I do. Like, I want to make it the best experience. I want to make this the best place for people to come and feel like they are welcome and they are not judged and they can talk about anything and all that jazz. It just don't come across because I can't be shouting and screaming at the game when I play. I don't know, people. I don't know. Working hard is a tough one. What counts? If you can honestly, I think if you can come out of a day at work knowing... Hey Terry, how are you doing? If you can come out of a day at work knowing that you are doing good, productive day at work, then I think that's good. You shouldn't feel bad about not putting in 12-hour days. Yeah. You know, it's weird, Terry. I thought that you might turn up on this one. Given the title. You're going to tell me I do bugger all or something. Right. Shot myself in the foot. If you can't complete your working day, you're overworked or not up to the job. That's a good way to do it. Good way to think about it. I don't think you've ever said that to me before. That's a good one. All right. And I'm up to the job. Well, thank you. That is good to know. This all, I don't know if you've been watching before you started chatting, but this all came about because we were talking to one of the other guys in my community, and he was saying, yeah, that's true, especially when you got MacBooks to do. But I was talking about one of the guys in my community, and he was saying he was doing 40-hour plus working weeks, and I know there's people out there who have to do 50, 60-hour working weeks, and it's just like, I know, unless I'm working on a weekend, I'm doing my shift, and I'm trying to plan my week out so I can do that and things like that. So, but then what counts as working hard? The idea was behind the stream tonight was what counts as working hard sort of thing. I like to think I put passion into what I do and do the best that I can. Thank you for showing up, Tel, and saying that. That's good to know. IT support, all perpetually overworked. That's us. So anyway, guys, the upshot of this stream is don't overwork yourself, especially if you're not like enjoying the job. If you're in a job where you're hitting it every time you go for some reason, and you're forcing yourself to do hours and hours and hours, you're going to end up burning yourself out, and that's not good. If you absolutely love your job and it doesn't feel like work, then maybe you can do it, but try and get that balance. To err is human. Yeah, exactly, Terry. That is true. Yeah, try and, if you absolutely love your job and it doesn't feel like work, then maybe you can put that little bit of extra time in, but also work-life balance is a thing. It has a name for a reason. You've got to try and keep that work-life balance. I actually quoted Stumpy DJ Chaser earlier tonight before I came on, when he said that, sorry, smacking my microphone, when he said that when he told me is that you work to live, you don't live to work. So it's true. Work so you can live your life, so you got money to go out and live your life and do the things you really enjoy. Yeah, just have the work-life balance. For everyone else, you need that. Just working. Good. Like even people who, well, we were talking about before, when you who absolutely love their job and can just waste hours at the job because they absolutely love it. Like the big streamers who are doing 6 hour streams a day, working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. They still building enough time into their day to have a bit of work-life balance so that they can go and spend time with their wives and their kids and their families and things like that. And if those guys who are so completely passionate about what they do and have that community of people and absolutely love what they do can still do that, then everyone should be able to. You need that balance in life to be able to make it work, because if all you're doing is working, then at some point, if you literally have nothing else, you're not doing anything else, then at some point you're just going to start hating everything and dropping down potentially into depression or anxiety or something like that, which is absolutely not something you want. It might not be something you can help, but it's not something that you want. It's the thing I know I've encountered a few people over my time that turn around and go, my job isn't like that, I don't get a lunch. Like, no, you work for a company. Just what? Trying to cut down on cokes again. I was having 3 or 4 a day at one point, so I'm trying to cut down on that. But yeah, we were going, my job don't work like that. They don't have, I don't get a lunch. And I was suddenly going, no, you do. And by law, your company has to give you a lunch break. Now, if they work for themselves, that's different, because they should then bill into their day and stuff. But companies are legally obliged to give you a lunch break. Exactly. During the pandemic, it's even more important to take time for yourself. And you appreciate, like, if you've got kids and stuff, that it's hard to take some time on yourself during the day. But like my daughter's at school now, and Alice works from home. She can take that hour through the day for herself. But yeah, just make sure you take those little bits. Like, some people only get half an hour lunch break. Still take it. I've had jobs previous to my current one where I got half an hour lunch break. It's where you only got half an hour lunch break, but that half an hour is still important. That's still your time to go do something else. Even if it is just go up to the lunch area and eat your pack up. Something like that. Or you can just go shopping for after or something. But take the time to do it. Absolutely take that time in your day to do it, and then when you get chance, down tools and go spend time with your family. Your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner, significant other, sex doll. Not the sex doll. Forget the sex doll. Just gotta do something for yourself, at least for a bit. You then get to a point where you've done anything you've watched, like you spent a couple of hours just relaxing, having your mind, just think, I'll just have one last check of my emails, something. That's fine, but take that time to do something for yourself. It's important, especially on a weekend. The weekend you have, obviously, if you've got kids, this don't really work, but you have 2 days on the weekend, unless you've specifically said you're going to work otherwise, to do what you want. Make sure you do it. If you want to spend 8 hours on a day shooting fools in Call of Duty on a weekend and you've got no other responsibilities, you gotta do that. Relax, enjoy yourself. Don't become a streamer because that's more competition for me. And yeah, just take some time. That's it for this safe space. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Leave your comments about this in the comment section down below. Let me know, and definitely like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Catch you in the next one.